feel like I should sing something for this intro, but I'm not gonna. Sing, the latest animated offering from Illumination Studios, which at this point still best known as the creators of Despicable Me and therefore Minions, which means that a lot of people probably really want the studio to go away. Don't blame them for the memes. They didn't make them. Anyways, this is their latest film, and honestly, I think it's the best thing they've done. My opinion on the Despicable Me franchise has always been kind of, it's okay. I like the idea better than the execution. Secret Life of Pets was pretty good when it stuck to its starting premise. The whole divergence with the rabbit and the group in the sewers, that didn't work so well. This is really quite good. I don't want to oversell it because it's not phenomenal. It's not amazing. This is not, higher end Pixar or Disney or anything like that, but it's really good. It's really solid, and I kind of have no major complaints about it, which I think might be a first for me with an Illumination film. Now, just that in and of itself, kind of a nice starting place. But in case you don't know, so Sing centers on a theater in, I don't think they ever identified the city as Los Angeles, but it's obviously modeled on Los Angeles. So it's a struggling theater run by a koala, played by Matthew McConaughey. Now, he's in dire straits, and he basically has to throw together one more shot at a show to try and save his theater. And what he comes up with is a singing competition, and that's really kind of it. I mean, there's a little more going on behind the scenes in terms of, the extent he's going to try and keep the theater afloat, and we get insights into that, and we get little bits on all the major participants in the competition, which include a porcupine voiced by Scarlett Johansson. We've got a housewife pig voiced by Reese Witherspoon. We've got a gorilla who's the son of a gangster played by Taron Egerton. There's a little mouse with a big voice and an even bigger ego being played by Seth MacFarlane, and a young elephant played by Tori Kelly. Now, here's what really surprised me about this. There really is nothing more for me to say about the plot without getting into really, nitty-gritty details, because it's really straightforward. Ultimately, this is a character piece. Everything just revolves around these characters, and they're all surprisingly well-rounded. There's a surprising amount of depth to all of them, really. In many ways, they play into the sort of archetypes that if you've ever watched a singing competition, whatever your preferred one is, you've seen these kinds of archetypes and you kind of gravitate towards them. It's all stuff that you'll recognize. The homebody who's never had their chance, the one with really great talent who's got terrible stage fright, the one who's got a huge ego and is just kind of a jerk, the one who sees this as a way to get a better life, the singer-songwriter trying to find their own voice. All of these things, it's all stuff you've seen if you've ever watched any singing competition reality show, and they're all here. But they're not just those stereotypes either. Like I said, they really do route out these characters. I do want to give special mention, though, to Matthew McConaughey as the koala. I actually really liked him because the easy way to go on this, being that his goal more than anything is to save his theater and keep it afloat, and he's doing, some questionable things to keep the lights on and keep things going. He's always dodging his debtors. So this is a charlatan type character. This is a guy who's he's not a step ahead of everybody. He's like a quarter step ahead of everybody. Everybody kind of knows that he can't really pull this off, but they can't quite grab him to stop him. But what's great about that is normally that's sort of a shyster, like kind of skeevy, he's just taking advantage of everybody character. Here, what's motivating him is true, legitimate love for his theater, for live entertainment. He wants this to work so bad, not because he's in debt, but because he loves it. And that just sort of gives you the idea that this is not, a cynical movie, and it takes the more intelligent route in terms of its premise. Again, I don't want to oversell. This is not brilliant, but because these characters are so well-rounded and are so well-developed, and the film never throws the characters under the bus for the sake of a goofy plot twist. So it did at some points give me the feels. Not full on, not like Up and not like Inside Out, but it gave me feels at a couple of points, and they were legit. They just weren't as intensive as something of, say, a higher caliber Disney or Pixar or Miyazaki or what have you. But for the studio this is coming from, I actually might start looking forward to Illumination films from here on out. I mean, this is really good. It's really solid. I took my daughter. She had a blast. I could tell all the kids in the theater were loving it. I actually really like that they used pop songs. I was iffy on that, because it never feels like the film is just a showcase for the pop songs because they go through so many. Not only are characters singing them, but they're using them, to punctuate moments as well. And so they're not, except for the final sort of act when the show gets put on, these songs don't get lingered on, to be like, ooh, and now here's this song. Like, that doesn't happen so much. It just keeps going and moving forward. Like, and here's this song, and it's on just long enough for you to recognize it and get the joke or get the moment or whatever it is, and then we move on to something else. It's fast-paced, but it's not hyperactive. It's not like this film would have broken into my top 10 if I'd caught it before the end of 2016, but this is really good. It's really solid, and 2016 was a pretty decent year for animation overall, and I'll include this on that rationale. So, Sing! Have you folks seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, drop something down in the comments and let's talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell so you get notifications when I put new stuff up. You can follow me on Twitter at Council of Geeks. Check out the Council of Geeks podcast, available on iTunes and Stitcher. And as for me, I will be back as soon as I can get my next fix.